This morning, John Bradshaw from It Is Written is with us here today to share an inspiring message.
It is great to see you. I hope your day is going well and that God has blessed you. Well, I know He's blessed you. I hope you've got a great day planned, that whatever you're in the middle of right now, you can say, the Lord is with me, God is my God, I have everything to look forward to, Jesus is coming back soon, I'm heading to eternity, this is a great day to be alive. So, my son and I like to dive, scuba dive. We don't dive nearly enough, but my son's a good diver. We love getting down under the water. It's like a whole different world down there. We just love it. Remember diving one time with sharks? When I say diving with sharks, we were pretty well stationary. The sharks were zipping backwards and forwards in front of us. Black-tipped reef sharks, which usually are pretty safe, but there have been times. And I enjoy it a lot. My son, if we dive and he sees a shark, he's all happy. If I see a shark, I'm less happy. Me, I just want to see turtles. That's a great day, and then I'll take anything else as a bonus. Like I said, we're not the most experienced divers. We don't dive nearly enough. We haven't been on enough dives, but we still dive and we love to dive. So, my friend's daughter decided that she was going to go out and dive one day, and she was all very excited. She was in another country from the United States, but she was abroad. And her mother happened to be there with her father as well and a friend. And she announced to her mother that tomorrow we're going to go scuba diving with sharks. With sharks. Her mother is saying, what do you mean you are diving with sharks? And she said, well, they're going to take us down. And this was not going to be the situation where you get in a cage and the sharks are swimming around the cage. These were going to be sharks. I mean, not great whites or anything, but you're more predictable, less antagonistic sharks. Anything can happen. And they were going to be down there. There would be sharks in the neighborhood. So they'd be down there with sharks. Her mother said, you got to be out of your mind. You're going to dive with sharks. Intentionally? Oh, yes, intentionally. This will be a thrill. We'll get to see sharks and they're magnificent creatures, which they are. Her mother said, I don't know that you should do this, but, you know, the daughter was an adult by now and mother couldn't exactly forbid her from doing it. Are you sure you need to do this, daughter? Yes, we're going to do it. My friend and I, it's going to be a great day. We've got our places booked. We've contacted the company. We're going diving tomorrow. We just can't wait. Mother did not share her daughter's enthusiasm. And this is not a matter of right and wrong. The daughter wanted to go. The mother was worried. The daughter was a daughter. The mother was a mother. You understand how this goes. And my friend told me she stayed up all night praying that God would protect her daughter. And her daughter's friend and whoever else might have been there. She prayed and prayed and prayed, pleading with God to protect her daughter. Well, in the morning, the phone rang and the daughter was summoned to the phone. Yes, really? Oh, okay, thanks for the call. Maybe another time, bye-bye. What was that? People wanted to know. The daughter explained that it was the dive company and that they called to say something very much like, we're really sorry about this, and this has never happened before, but as far as we can tell, there are no sharks in the bay, and it would be pointless us taking the boat out and taking you out today to see sharks that aren't there. Now, how did they know? I don't know. I didn't dig too deep. I listened to the story and verified and smiled a lot. They called off the dive trip. There were no sharks. I wonder why. No, I don't think God is against sharks. I don't think God is against people diving with sharks necessarily. I don't think God caused that a calamity wouldn't take place, although maybe He did. Maybe He did. But the point is this. Mum prayed for her daughter, prayed for her daughter's safety, and it ended up praying the sharks out of the bay. Does God answer prayer or not? The answer is yes, He absolutely does. Now, it might be that some people say, well, God never answered any of my prayers. Did you pray? And did you pray sincerely? I'll come back around to that, because to say that your prayer wasn't answered because you didn't pray sincerely, yeah, that's a dangerous thing to say. So I'll qualify that. But did you pray? The Bible says that there were times Jesus, and I quote now, continued all night in prayer. Continued all night in prayer. Why would He do that? You understand, Jesus came to this earth as a man. He was in a battle, a constant battle with the darkest forces in the history of darkness. Satan and all of his legions of angels turned their guns on Jesus and attacked him relentlessly. They worked through people. They worked through elements, I'm sure. They worked relentlessly to turn Jesus out of the way. Jesus was opposed by religious leaders. Jesus was opposed by all sorts of circumstances and many different kinds of people. His own disciples doubted him at times. He was assailed with temptation. The Bible says he was tempted in all points like as we are, yet without sin. And so Jesus prayed. He needed his Father's presence in his life. He needed spiritual strength. He needed victory over temptation. He needed to be delivered from temptation so that he did not end up yielding to temptation. Jesus prayed. He prayed that he would be able to reveal the Father to people. He said, "He that has seen me has seen the Father." That didn't happen by mistake. Jesus prayed that his Father would be seen in his life. Now, friend, you're in a battle. An absolute no-holds-barred spiritual battle right now. The Bible says in 1 Peter 5 that the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he may devour. The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, we don't wrestle with flesh and blood, but we do wrestle with principalities and powers. We are wrestling with spiritual forces, Paul wrote to the Ephesians and said really, really clearly. Now, they knew that. They lived in Ephesus, which was grand central station for idolatry and the occult. So they knew. Nevertheless, or should I say, this is why Jesus reminded them they were in a spiritual battle. They were, we are. Which means we really got to pray. Now, I'm going to come back to that point I made and sort of correct it. Why then are sometimes prayers not answered? Well, sometimes because you didn't pray with any sincerity. I mean, if you pray, oh, by the way, if you could cure grandma, I mean, that was barely a prayer. Sometimes God will take that, but if you can't be bothered to pray sincerely, you shouldn't expect that God can be bothered to answer because he's going to realize that your heart's not really in it. Now, having said that, there are many, many very, very sincere prayers that have been prayed and were not answered according to the wishes of the petitioner. You prayed for fine weather, it rained. You prayed grandpa would get well, he died. You prayed for your daughter's safety and she got in a car accident and you wonder. You prayed about a job you didn't get. You prayed about a home you wanted to buy, you couldn't get the financing. You prayed for your practice and your practice started to stutter and stumble and things got really tight. You laid people off. Why? Here's the answer. You want to know the answers to why God doesn't answer prayer? Don't know. Don't know. Don't really know. Now, I could give you a more flowery answer than that, but I don't know. God knows, though. Some situations it's not best that he gives you what you ask for. I don't know why. That's just the way God designs it sometimes. The key is in situations like that, can you trust him anyway? Or do you just want the stuff that God offers, the blessings, without wanting to walk the road with Jesus? It's important to pray. My friend prayed away sharks. You pray and God will do great things in your life. Great to see you. Have a great day. God bless you.